Let's read.
The Sniffles for Bear by Bonnie Becker. One morning, Bear heard a tip-tap rapping on his front door. "Come in," he said. Mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed, bustled into Bear's living room. Bear huddled in his chair, big and brown and sniffly-snouted. He had a terrible cold. "I'm home," declared Mouse. "Soon you'll be as good as new." Bear frowned. Mouse was much too cheerful. "I'm quite ill," Bear reminded him. "Indeed," said Mouse. "I have just the thing." Mouse riffled through his bag, then settled next to Bear with a yellow book in his paw. "It was spring," Mouse read. "The sky was blue, the sun was happy, all the birds were singing." "Stop," growled Bear. "I fear you do not appreciate the gravity of my situation." Mouse looked sad, but his tail didn't. "In fact, I may not be long for this world," Bear huffed. "Oh my," Mouse said. "Yes," Bear murmured, coughing pitifully. "I grow weaker by the moment." "Ah, I have just the thing," Mouse announced. "I shall soothe you with a song. Oh, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be..." "Disgraceful," barked Bear. "Don't you like my singing?" asked Mouse. "When someone is dreadfully ill, you sing mournful songs. Everyone knows that," growled Bear. He blew his nose with a honk. "I have just the thing," Mouse said. He rifled through his bag. Plunk, plink, plunkety, twing, twang, plunk. Moose strummed hardly on a tiny banjo. "That isn't mournful at all," cried Bear. "It gets sad later," promised Mouse. Twing, twang, plunk. "This is impossible. Intolerable." Bear started to roar, but he was too weak. "Look," Bear wheezed. "Look at how my paw is trembling. You must help me to bed." And indeed, Mouse was most helpful. He tucked Bear in, then whisked out to the bedroom door. He returned balancing a big bowl of soup on his head. "Nettle soup," Mouse said. "I made it myself." Bear sipped cautiously. It was hot and tasted a bit like spinach and straw. Bear rather liked it. Bear's eyes began to close. "Better?" inquired Mouse. Bear's eyes snapped open. "Certainly not. I think I should make a will." "Ah, I have just the thing," said Mouse, fetching a pencil and little notebook from his bag. He perched next to Bear, his pencil poised to write. Bear gazed thoughtfully at the ceiling. "I, Bear," he said, "leave my red roller skates to..." Bear paused, and Mouse leaned forward eagerly. "To Mouse," announced Bear. "Hooray!" said Mouse. Bear frowned. "You needn't be so happy about it. I also leave my mop to Mouse," he added quickly. Mouse didn't look as interested in that. "And my wash bucket," added Bear. At last, Mouse seemed to understand the gravity of the situation. "Anything else?" asked Mouse. "I'm too weak to go on," said Bear. "Perhaps I could just add your tea kettle," said Mouse, hopefully. "Have you no decency?" bellowed Bear, sitting bolt upright in bed. "Your strength has returned," Mouse exclaimed. "No, it hasn't," said Bear, falling back. "That was just the last flicker before the dog." "I see." Mouse folded his paws and looked very sad, even his tail. Bear's voice dropped to a whisper. "Farewell, Mouse." "Goodbye, Bear," murmured Mouse. Bear closed his eyes and lay very still, and he began to snore. After a long while, Bear opened his eyes. He saw Mouse. "I feel better," Bear said. Mouse nodded, but he didn't look so good. His eyes were watery, and he made sniffling sounds. "Perhaps you had better lie down," said Bear, getting out of bed, and Mouse didn't argue. "Do you want me to make a will?" Bear asked. Mouse shook his head. Bear carefully tucked him in. "I'm sorry you're sick," said Bear. "Take you, Bear." Mouse sniffled, and after a moment he added, "That was just the thing." Bear smiled. Mouse closed his eyes and was soon asleep.